finally had to come to that hard truth and file for a divorce. And it was embarrassing.
Shannen Doherty says she learned of her now ex-husband's alleged affair right before having brain surgery.
It was like maybe, 2 or 3 days apart. So yeah, it was pretty brutal.
I went in after I found out that, my marriage was essentially over, that my husband had been carrying on an affair for 2 years.
The Beverly Hills 90210 alum getting candid on the debut of her podcast, Let's Be Clear, as she navigates her divorce from Kurt Iswarienko after 11 years of marriage amid her battle with stage 4 cancer.
I couldn't go into that surgery with him there. I felt so betrayed. At the end of the day, I just felt so incredibly unloved by someone that I loved with all my heart.
I've been thrown a lot of curveballs and ones that I never expected in a million years. I think for me, also doing the podcast right now, it seems to be very cathartic.
I also spoke to the girlfriend of 2 years that he cheated on me with, which is a whole other episode. Huh.
You have to have a sense of humor. You have to. Without it, it becomes very depressing. This year has been extremely tough for me.
The infidelity claim comes after Shannen revealed in June that her stage 4 breast cancer had spread to her brain.
He's like, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through it as a family.
That's Shannen praising Kurt for being by her side 1 year after she first shared her diagnosis. ET's reached out to Kurt for comment.
It's just going through the journey with her, seeing what's around the corner tomorrow,
If you share 14 years together and you cheated, I didn't walk away right away. I couldn't. I was so confused, and I was also on steroids and a lot of stuff from brain surgery because they didn't want my brain to swell.
Where maybe there was a situation in your past where you said, I'm never going to forgive and I'm not going to forget. But then while talking about it on the podcast, you're like, okay, I release it now. I don't really care as much about it.
Speaking with ET Wednesday, Shannen says her new podcast chronicles the good and the bad of her life story.
Just how personal are you getting in this podcast?
I get very personal. It's basically if somebody wrote a memoir, I'm just doing the audio version that every week is sort of a new chapter, if you will. It's all about the past, the present, the future, what happened in my 3 marriages.
When it comes specifically to Kurt, Shannen says she doesn't feel responsible for the marriage crumbling.
I was, I'm horrified that I can't keep a relationship together. I think it's like a reflection on me. Although I kind of like this one, I don't know. I think it's on him.
How do you even want to love again after experiencing such betrayal?
Well, because I've loved in the past, and even though it didn't work out, it was still really beautiful. Even with the marriage that is now over, there were some great times. Just because he made poor choices that, hurt me greatly does not mean that every man is like that. I believe that my father was the most loyal, stand-up, honest, amazing human being that ever walked this earth. I believe that there are still men out there like that.
There are.
I just didn't find one this time around.